up, Homedawgs? My name is Gokey Gamer, and welcome everybody to the SDA Season 5 Draft Breakdown for the Milwaukee Medichams. I am super excited to be back in this league. I've always had such a great time in this league, battling people. So many talented coaches, so much fun opportunities for me to really make my teams shine. Obviously, last season we had the Professor Turo arc, and then obviously Season 3 was one of my first times being in a draft league in Wi-Fi in Gen 9, which was really, really cool. So this league means a lot to me, and I'm very excited about this team coming up in particular because this team legitimately, and I know I say this a lot, but this team is legitimately the most broken team, or at least like top 3 broken teams that I've ever drafted. I am so immensely excited about this pick. It's on, like, this team, it is unreal. So I'm super excited to get into it. If you guys are excited as well, please be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. So the SDA battles will be going up on Friday, at least for now, as long as the SPDA battles are still going. And the MBBL will be on Thursday. If you guys missed my MBBL draft breakdown, please be sure to check it out in the card or whatever, after this video or before this video, whatever you guys prefer. And yeah, like the MBBL video, I'm not going to be doing a lot of editing here, so it's going to be minimal cuts, and it's just going to be me talking about the team, what I like about it. Honestly, there's nothing I really dislike about it, so it's just going to be what I like about it, because holy crap, again, this team is so immensely scary. I'm just so excited to see it pop off, because I think it's going to really, really cause damage against my opponents, because it is just that good. Also, please be sure to check out all the coaches down in the description below. This is an upload required division, so all the coaches will be uploading. I will leave a link down below for everybody's channels in this video as well, and obviously be sure to check out my opponents, whose links I'll also leave down in the description below in each battle as well. And yeah, I guess without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So this draft is your standard snake draft with 16 coaches, you know, the same old, same old. The big difference, however, though, is the fact that A, we have more Terra points, being 25 Terra points. And you might be wondering, well, why do you have that many Terra points? And it's because we can Terra a lot more Pokemon than in typical draft leagues. Obviously, there are still some Pokemon that are Terra banned, like Annihilate, Blaziken, the Lotties, Landorus Incarnate, the Ogrepons, Palafin, etc. But those Pokemon are allowed in the league still, and there's a lot of new Pokemon that can actually Terra. Think Pokemon like Skeledirge, Goldengo, Quaquaval, Ursaluna, the regular Ursaluna, Serperior, Landorus Therian, Iron Moth, Iron Hands. So many Pokemon that usually aren't allowed to Terra are going to be allowed to Terra, so we're going to see a lot of Pokemon really take a moment to shine in the higher up levels, which is going to be a very, very exciting. I think it's going to lead to some immensely fun games, and I'm just excited, personally. I think this is going to be a really, really fun time. Not just because of that, but again, because we've got an extremely powerful team, and we've also got a Pokemon that I have wanted to draft for 4 years by this point, ever since Gen 8, the beginning of Gen 8. I've always wanted to draft this Pokemon, never got the chance to because it would always get picked before me, but thankfully we were the second pick in this draft, meaning that my opponent ended up, or the first person ended up picking Teras Allowed. So here is the team that we are going to have. I finally ended up getting Dragapult. Guys, I'm so immensely excited about this. Holy crap, I got Dragapult. I cannot believe it to this day still. I cannot believe it. I finally got Dragapult. I'm so excited. Now granted, Dragapult is one of the Pokemon that are still Terra banned. There is a pretty decent list of Pokemon that are Terra banned. Like Garchomp. Oh wait, actually Goldengo can't Terra. So that's my bad. I think I did say Goldengo. So Goldengo can't Terra. I didn't see it here. There's like the Ironmons, there's Lotties, there's Landorus, Incarnate, the Therian form can still Terra, there's the Mandibuzz, there's the Ogrepons. So Dragapult is among that list of Pokemon that can't Terra, unfortunately, but I'm still very excited to hopefully see it pop off. In fact, I know it's going to pop off because look at the power of this team. Not just Dragapult. Dragapult is like the ace in the hole. Look at the rest of this team, though. This team, I cannot stop gawking at this team because, oh my god, it is chef's kiss. Oh my goodness gracious. I cannot wait to talk about it, so let's go ahead and talk about it now. Our team consists of Dragapult, Quaquaval, Diancie, Ursaluna Bloodmoon, Kingambit, Shaman, Kilowattrel, Salazzle, Cryogonal, and Weirdeer. Rounding out my points perfectly, might I add, and our Terra captains are Quaquaval and Diancie, both of which are typically Terra banned. At least in a lot of leagues I've seen Diancie Terra banned, and Quaquaval's always Terra banned, because Quaquaval is one of the best Pokemon in draft, arguably, in this meta. So, in general, just this team composition, in my opinion, is immensely powerful. With immediate sweepers like Quavel and Dragapult, defensive walls like Ursaluna, Blood Moon, Diancie, and even Kingambit and Shaman as well, to tanks like Ursaluna, Kingambit, and Shaman, to fast Pokemon that can just cause a lot of havoc, Kilowattrel, the Salazzle, and the Cryogonal, and then weirder as well, even weirder, being able to have some fun things. Great abilities in Intimidate and Frisk. Normal Psychic typing is honestly not bad at all in the slightest, and like decent bulk, decent speed, very decent attacks, so even Weirder has its place on this team, which is immensely valuable to me. The speed tiers, this is one of the speediest teams I've had for sure. I mean, Dragapult is there as a big part of that, but even like a lot of these other Pokemon are also immensely fast as well. And there are a couple things to note. My team is very weak to Trick Room. That is the biggest like thing with my team, I think, with my slowest Pokemon being base 50s, 2 base 50s and 1 base 52. So there are a lot of Pokemon that can screw me over with Trick Room, but even Webs, for example, still aren't going to be a big issue for this team because we have Clear Body Dragapult, we have Kilowattrel and Cryogonal, which are levitating. A lot of the Pokemon still don't care about Webs anyways. Like, really the only Pokemon that care about Webs immensely is Salazzle and Quavel. And Salazzle, you can just run Heavy Duty Boots, and same with Quavel. And Quavel gets Rapid Spin on top of that too, along with Cryogonal. So there's a lot of really great things on this team. Again, my biggest weakness is Trick Room, but even then we can still work around Trick Room fairly well because Diancie and Kingambit both work absolutely phenomenally in Trick Room. So there is that too. Even though if my opponents do opt to bring Trick Room, they do have to worry about both Diancie and Kingambit really causing havoc in their team because, again, they are super powerful under Trick Room. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the picks I've got, all that fun stuff. Let's go ahead and just talk about them real quick. So, Dragapult. Obviously, Dragapult, so excited to use it. It was one of, if not the best Pokemon to use in draft in Gen 8. And while in Gen 9, it has fallen off a little bit, in my opinion, I still think it is a very, very valuable pick here, because with that speed tier, you can run Adamant and Modest pretty reliably. And it forces Scarfers to come if they want to outspeed Dragapult, or priority moves to come as well. But even then, Dragapult still has a like immensely mixed move pool as well. You can run physical, special, mixed. It's just a really, really versatile offensive pick to start off a draft, and I just really think it is so good. Ghost Dragon being a really powerful combo as well. The one thing about Dragapult is its lack of physical ghost coverage. It does not get Poltergeist, as far as I know. Its best physical ghost move is Phantom Force. So that's not great, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm still very excited about Dragapult immensely, because I've wanted this thing for 4 years, like I've said earlier, and is probably in the title as well. Next up, we got Tera Quavel. Crazy, I know. With Tera Water, Electric, and Ghost. So Tera Water, obvious reasons is obvious. You Aqua Step to victory. Like, in endgame, Quavel comes in, Aqua Steps to victory. You can't do anything about it, especially when it Tera Waters. Tera Electric is there as well to hit the Flying type super hard, also to help with my Electric weakness, as well as in the regular form, and also just to have only one weakness to ground, which water covers immediately. And then finally, we do have Tera Ghost to help out against those Psychic and Ghost types as well. I could have run Dark, but I decided on Ghost because it gives me that normal and fighting immunity, which I do value on this Quavel, and especially because we don't have a Ghost type on this team. But even then, like, we don't really need a Ghost type because we still can punish Rapid Spinners pretty reliably, so that's pretty cool. And yeah, Tera Quavel I think is going to really claim lives in this game. I know PokeAim has said, like, Quavel is one of, if not the best Pokemon in draft right now, so I'm very excited to finally use it. And it is allowed to Tera. It's allowed to Tera, guys. That's crazy. On top of that, Tera Diancie is back on this team. So for those of you who don't know, actually, for the very first, like, draft league I was a part of in Gen 9, the first draft league on this channel, I had Tera Diancie on the team, and it 6-0'd not just once, but twice in that season. Tera Fairy Diancie is insane. It's so good. And then we also have Tera Steel and Tera Water there as just in case we need it. But Tera Fairy Diancie is pretty much all you'll ever need. Because not much stops a Draining Kiss, coverage, Iron Defense, Calm Mind shenanigans from Diancie. Like, don't get me wrong, there are sets that can stop that. But Tera Diancie, so immensely powerful. Like, you can just run Bulk and Tera Fairy Draining Kiss and just win games. Like, that's how easy it is to win with Diancie. So I've got like 2 immensely powerful Tera captains with only 1 point left of Tera for a Tera point left. So that's really cool. I'm pretty sure it's only 1 point anyways. But yeah, immensely powerful pick, one that I'm very familiar with, one that I very much enjoy using, and one that I'm very excited to hopefully see pop off as well. Next up, we got a slightly familiar face. We've got Ursaluna, but in its Blood Moon form. And the only reason I picked it is literally because of the fact that I wanted to use Ursaluna Blood Moon finally. So it also helps that I have Cloquable already as a good physical sweeper. And my next pick, obviously you can tell, I knew it was probably going to be a physical. I was actually looking at Jirachi originally, and Jirachi ended up getting picked up. But I also think my 6th pick really takes care of that as well. But anyways, talking about Ursaluna Blood Moon. Ursaluna Blood Moon, very, very powerful Pokemon. It's bulky on the physical side, which is very rare for a Pokemon that's a special attacker like Ursaluna. Blood Moon, I should say. But normal ground, like, in general is just really good. It is weak on the special side, which is something I do have to keep in mind. But even with that, the Ursaluna Blood Moon just hits like an absolute truck. Mind's Eye allows Blood Moon to go through ghost types, which can be immensely valuable, because guess what? Either you're going to be taking a Blood Moon for free, or if you resist Blood Moon as a ghost type, you still die to Earth Power from the ground typing, because you will have either ground or not ground. You'll either have rock or steel double typing, so we can just nuke those things, which is really cool. So very, very excited to use Ursaluna Blood Moon. I think it's going to be an immensely powerful pick on this team. And yeah, next up, Kingambit. Kingambit is such a great pick. I can't believe it made it back to me. Round 5, by the way. Now, I actually just realized this while looking at this list, but Kingambit is also Terra Banned, which makes sense. If it wasn't Terra Banned, I would have considered drafting Kingambit as a Terra Captain as well, but I still really wanted to use Cloquable. So, Kingambit is here. Immensely bulky Pokemon, surprisingly so on the physical side, and can just hit like a truck. Supreme Overlord, Defiant, both extremely powerful abilities. I can't remember the last ability off the top of my head, but it's still a very, very powerful ability in general. Let me just take a look at it real quick, because I have my list up here of my Pokemon. Here we go. Pressure. Okay, well, Pressure is not going to be that useful, but Supreme Overlord, dude. Supreme Overlord is absolutely powerful, and I'm very, very excited to see it hopefully put in work. And, yeah, again, like, Dark Steel coverage, immensely powerful. Sucker Punch, Kowtow Cleave, like, it's such a good Pokemon. There's not much more I need to say about it. Like, Supreme Overlord. Supreme Overlord is a thing, and it is powerful. So, yeah, there's Kingambit for you. Next up was Shaman, which is a very fun Pokemon. There was a decent amount of grass types I was looking at. I was looking at Amoonguss, I was looking at a couple of others, but I wanted Shaman. And I'm not going to reveal too much about what Shaman can do, but base 100 stats across the board, extremely powerful, has Seed Flare, obviously, and I have a couple of plans for Shaman. I'm not going to reveal them here, but let's just say I'm very, very excited to have this, I think, going to be an underdog of this team. I think Shaman is really going to come in clutch in a lot of games. So I'm very, very excited to hopefully see it pop off and do a lot of work as well. Because Shaman, I think, just is a really great Pokemon, and I'm very, very excited about it. And I know, technically I already have my week 2 battle, because long story short, I'm going to be out of town next week, so I did it early, but I wasn't able to nickname Shaman in that game for whatever reason, because the Pokemon I ended up, like, the version of Shaman I ended up getting, I couldn't change the nickname of. The nickname would be Gracidia. Just wanted to throw that out, like, after the flower. So, yes. Next up on the team, we've got an old favorite as well, and while it can't Terra, I do still think Kilowattrel is a very great fit on this team. I was thinking about drafting Jolteon as well, but I decided, you know what, I like Kilowattrel more because of the flying type, because of the slightly slower speed tier, so that way I can still force some speed creeping possibilities as well. Wind Power plus Volt Absorb plus Competitive, 3 immensely powerful abilities on Kilowattrel, and again, while it can't Terra, I do still think this Pokemon, like, I can't Terra on this team. Technically, I could switch out Terra Diancie for Terra Kilowattrel. I'm not doing that, though, because I love Terra Diancie. Without Terra, I should say, Kilowattrel can still be an immensely powerful threat, and I hope to prove it in this league. Next up, we have got Salazzle, which I think is an interesting pick on this team. A lot of people might be like, why are you bringing Salazzle? Or like, why did you draft Salazzle? First off, speed tiers, I do value speed tiers a lot. I think it really forces a lot of prep, and you can get a lot of intel on certain sets, which I think is very valuable. And Salazzle gave me a Poison and Fire type, special Poison and Fire type attacker as well, which Kilowattrel also fills that role, because you can tell I'm pretty physically heavy on this team. So I decided to pick up those two just for that type of coverage. And Salazzle, I think, is a very, very good Pokemon on this team, with Corrosion as well to weaken anything that wants to come in against me. It could be Poison, it could be Steel. They're still getting Toxic thanks to Corrosion, and I think that is immensely valuable, especially for things like Dragapult, Quaquaval, Kingambit, etc. And Salazzle, I think, is a really good disruptor, ironically enough. And, like, you'll see my Week 2 game once again. I bring a very interesting set to that game, so very, very exciting about that. And I think you guys will really enjoy Salazzle. I think White Hot the Salazzle is going to provide a lot of fun games and shenanigans. I'm very excited to use Salazzle. I have used it once before, but I'm very excited to use it now. Next up, we have got Cryogonal, making a return as well. I've used Cryogonal, I believe, once before in Gen 8, and I liked it. It was okay, but I do think Cryogonal on this team just fits things so nicely. Gives me another Rapid Spinner besides Quaquaval, so that way I can spin Webs away if needed. Again, I don't foresee Webs being a major issue on this team, ironically enough, despite it being so fast. And again, that's because of Clear Body, that's because of the Flying type, that's because of Levitate on Cryogonal as well. Cryogonal is also typically a very powerful Terra type, or Terra Captain, but it is not Terra on this team. I do think similarly to Salazzle, Cryogonal might surprise people. Because it does one thing, but it does it very well. This also gives me a pretty decent special defensive wall as well for a really good price, which I do also find very valuable. And, yeah, it also gets Recover, it also gets Acid Armor as well, so it can be a wall when it needs to be. And in certain situations, it can just win games, which I also find very valuable. Speedy Ice type, I think, is a very valuable thing on teams as well. Like, I think Speedy Ice types can be very underestimated, so yeah. And then finally, we have Weirdeer, costing 4 points. I've already talked about it a little bit with Intimidate, Frisk, etc. And, like, decent speed, like, with 65, it's not the best on paper, but, like, 105 in attack and special attack and 104 in HP is still really, really impressive. It gets a decent move pool as well, and, like, again, similarly to Kilowattrel, Cryogonal, it would be better with Terra. It also gets Sap Sipper as well, in case I ever want to run that. But, like, it can do a lot of fun things. It can be mixed, it can be AV, it can have, like, a lot of, like, really cool sets as well. It gets screens. There's a lot of fun things that I think Weirdeer can do, and I think it's going to be a Pokemon that people really underestimate. So I'm really excited to see it pop off on this team, especially on this team. Weirdeer is kind of a sleeper as well, similar to Shaman in my opinion. I think Weirdeer and Shaman are going to be slept on, but I think they're going to really come in clutch on this team as well, and at least for some prep, or my opponents will be heavily punished for underestimating them. So, that is the entire team. 10 Pokemon is a smaller draft for me, usually, because usually I end up with 11 or 12, but I do think that this Pokemon, like, it's so good, guys. It's such a good team. I really love this team. It really fits my playstyle, in my opinion, and it fits the Gen 9 meta as well as having a lot of hyper offensive Pokemon that really just forces you to just deal with them right away. I have walls like Shaman, Kingambit, Diancie, etc. I have like disruptors like Salazzle. Kilowattrel and Cryogonal can also be kind of disruptors as well, and Weirdeer as well, possibly. We'll see. And then obviously rounding it all out with Terra Quaquaval, Dragapult, etc. Just really bringing everything home. I'm so immensely excited about this team, and I've talked about it for so long, it's kind of crazy. It's actually very late, so I'm gonna go ahead and start wrapping up here. But yeah, again, so immensely excited. I think people are gonna have a hard time beating this team, which is the goal, so yeah. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I'm immensely excited for this team. If you guys are too, please leave a like down below. Let me know your favorite Pokemon on this team as well. Let me know what your favorite part about this team is. And, yeah, without any further ado, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap things up here, and, I hope to see you all on Fridays for these battles. I'll still be uploading SPDAs, Luxury Ball on Saturday, Master Ball on Sunday, and then the MBBL will also be uploaded on Thursdays, for now, at least until further notice, like when the SPDA ends, etc. Thank you all so much for watching, though. I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up here, because I've talked enough. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed, please be sure to leave a like and comment and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out my Ko-fi page. I think it's Ko-fi, I don't know. I will say I don't need a laptop anymore. If you guys saw my NBL video, you'll know that I got a laptop. I finally had enough money to get a laptop. So I will be able to edit on the go, which is very exciting. And, yeah, I guess without any further ado, I've already said that 10 million times already. So I'm just gonna say I'll see you soon in the next video. Peace out, mates!